about to see exactly how many countries are abstaining on this vote. It was hard to tell how many voted yes due to the wide angle there. We see Russia abstaining, China abstaining, 2 permanent members who elected not to use their veto. We'll get a rundown of others. And here comes the vote total. They need 9 to get a yes vote on this resolution. The Chinese ambassador is the current president of the Security Council. He'll read out the totals for the UN Security Council voting to authorize a no-fly zone and other measures to protect civilians.
10票赞成
10 votes in favor.
There you go.
0票反对
0 vote against.
5票弃权
5 abstentions.
So
决议草案
seems like there you have it, Richard. 10 votes. That means the no-fly zone is approved. Who now enforces that?
That will be the countries who are agreeing to now get together to adopt military measures to enforce a no-fly ban and also to perhaps strike at Gaddafi's armor and troops. Anything, as this resolution says, all necessary measures to protect the civilian population as Gaddafi's forces move in on Benghazi. Very unclear. From this point, it moves to military capitals, you might say, just like what we saw pre-Gulf War. So a historic vote to authorize, in effect, a no-fly zone and perhaps more measures against the regime of Colonel Gaddafi, who withstood years of sanctions from the UN before. But the situation is a little bit more different this time. Candy.
You know, Richard, 10 yes votes, 5 abstentions, and 0 no votes tells you something about where Libya stands in the worldview.
Violence and the use of heavy
It does say a lot. I mean, it also says the split, once again, in the world, despite the Arab League pleading for a no-fly zone, Russia and China, which many times does the bidding of the Arab world at the UN and in other forums, did not give a sense of unanimity from the international community that would send a message to Gaddafi. Yes, the vote passed, but there are a lot of abstentions which may give encouragement to Colonel Gaddafi and his company and crew and family to see that, look, it's really the U.S. and some of my enemies in the community, plus France, which Libya's leadership has said took money from Gaddafi, which the French presidency denies strongly. So the vote passes. Also, we saw some post-Iraq fallout here, very hesitant to back anything involving force in that region. That's why in the resolution it says there will be no foreign occupation.
Ibrahim Dabashi is the deputy Libyan ambassador to the United Nations. But we understand, even though he has come out and he has spoken against Muammar Gaddafi, the UN isn't allowing you back in?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dabashi? There are limits placed on whether or not you could represent the Libyan people at this point there at the UN?
I am working normally, and I am representing the Provisional National Council, which is the provisional government of Libya, which is now in Benghazi. And no one prevents me from representing the Libyan people until this moment.
All right, how do you interpret what is happening right now? You have seen the debate up close and personal over whether or not the international community should get involved. What happens if they do? What happens if they don't?
No, I think it is very important that the international community be involved in what's going now in Libya, and this involvement should focus on imposing a non-fly zone over the territories of Libya. As we see today, the regime of Gaddafi has used air attacks to destroy oil installations, and he also conducted several aerial attacks on the city of Zawiya, and I think it is very clear that the imposition of a non-fly zone is very important, especially for those who are talking about the humanitarian situation in Libya.
When you talk about a no-fly zone, though, no one seems very eager to embrace that. Why do you believe they don't want to take the risk?
No, I think it is not. It is not a risky business. I think it is very important. It is, to have some kind of balance of power between the Libyan people and the regime. I think they have to. The international community has to prevent him from this supremacy, which is the airplanes and the helicopters. And I think there is a broad understanding within the international community about the necessity of taking this measure. Certainly there are a few countries, maybe let us say mainly the Russians, who are still reluctant. But I think after what happened today, I think they should take a clear decision and decide and go along with the other members of the Security Council and impose a non-fly zone as soon as possible.
Mr. Dabashi, you represented Muammar Gaddafi for a long, long time at the UN and elsewhere. You have turned on him now. What is the talk behind the scenes? What did you think for all those years? Who did you think you were representing?
No, I never represented. I never represented Colonel Gaddafi. I have never been nominated.
You worked for his
by
government. You took his
diplomat
appointment. You took his money.
No, no.
Yes, you did.
No, it is not his money. It is the Libyan
It was
money.
the Libyan people's money, but it was through the regime of Colonel Gaddafi that you got that job.
Okay. No, I am a career diplomat. I am in the foreign affairs. I have never been nominated as ambassador who usually represent the head of the state.
Okay, well, let me get to the point. Ibrahim,
Ibrahim,
let me get to the
yes.
point. Did you know that he was crazy? Did you know
Yes.
that he was a criminal and a murderer all that time?
Well, I know he is psychologically unstable, but now I think he is insane, he is mad, and I think he will do everything he may destroy everything to stay in power. Now I think he is out of his mind, yes.
Who is supporting him then? Does everybody in Libya know the same thing that you know?
No, those who are supporting him, this is a close circle of some military officers and some who they are called the revolutionary members of the revolutionary committees. And they are people who are involved in crimes against the Libyan people. So they know if he goes, they will go also. So they are fighting until the last moment with him. These are the main supporters, and I think their number is around 100, no more.
All right. Ibrahim Dabashi, Libya's deputy ambassador there at the United Nations in New York. Sir, I thank you very much for being with us. The questions weren't, necessarily easy, but I think they do shed some light on what we're facing, what the Libyan people are facing today, and I thank you for that.